Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the weekly market analysis. I'm sorry for the delay, alright? Yeah, I've been very tight this weekend. That is why you are receiving the video at this time. Yeah, so probably next week is the last week so far as the month of September is concerned. It was also the last week of the third quarter of the year 2023. And so October begins the fourth quarter, and that is the last quarter so far as the year 2023 is concerned. So going into October, I'm actually expecting a very clean price action, all right, because that is actually the last quarter of the year. So based on my experience, that quarter, that is a good one for me. All right, yes, that is a good one for me, especially October and then November. So see what happened with that. But let's focus on going into a new week. That is the last week of the month of September. All right, the month of August and September hasn't really gelled well for me. All right, yes, the market has been rough. The currency market has been rough for some time now. Looking at the month of August and the month of September. And so going into the last week of the month of September, we should start seeing some clean price action to zoom into the new quarter or the last quarter so far as the year 2023 is concerned. So just as we normally do here, before we start with the charts, we go into the economic news calendar to see what the news that is up for us so far as the new week is concerned. And so on Monday, September 25th, 2023, we have the info business climate for Germany. That is a high impact news. Tuesday, we have new home sales month over month for the month of August for USD. We have new home sales for the month of August for USD. On Wednesday, we have AUD monthly CPI indicator for the month of August. All right. Then we have the consumer confidence for Germany. Then you have Austria manufacturing PMI. Then you have USD durable orders ex defense month over month for the month of August. Then we also have the durable goods orders ex transport month over month for the month of August, or for USD. Then you have durable goods orders month over month for the month of August for USD. Then on Thursday, we have AED retail sales for the month of August. We have the North Rhine-Westphalia CPI month over month for Germany. This is also the CPI year over year for Germany. Then retail sales year over year for Spain. Retail sales month over month for Spain. Then we have a CPI, yes, for Germany as well. So all these you are seeing are related to a CPI impact news for Germany. All right, yes. So all these you are seeing are CPI. Then you have USD initial jobless claims for USD, jobless claims 4-week average for USD, continuing jobless claims for USD. Then you have a Fed chair speech. All right, yes. So we'll get a speech from the Federal Reserve chairman. Then you see what he also has for us. Then on Friday, we have the retail sales for Germany month over month and then a year over year. Then you have inflation rates for France for the month of September. We have unemployment change for September for Germany. We have unemployment rate for September for Germany. Then you have CPI for the Eurozone, inflation rate year over year for Eurozone. Then we have retail sales year over year for the month of July for Greece, inflation rate year over year for the month of September for Italy, CPI for the month of September for Italy. Then you have the core price index month over month for the month of August for USD. USD's personal spending month over month for the month of August. We have the personal income month over month for the month of August for USD. Goods trade balance for the month of August for USD. Then you have the Michigan consumer sentiment for the month of September for USD. So these are the high impact news we are expecting to see on the market going into a new week. So that is just that for the economic news calendar. Let's look at what is happening on the chart. We start with the dollar index. So for the dollar index, we like that from July, we've seen price giving us a very nice movement to the upside. All right, yes. Last week I made you aware of this zone right here. I made clearly what I'm expecting. All right, I gave you two scenarios that if price should close below this volume imbalance, then definitely we see price pushing to the downside. All right, on Monday we had price giving us an indecisive candle. Tuesday, we had price pushing to the downside. Wednesday, we had price trying to push the upside, and then at the end of the day, we saw price closing above this volume imbalance right here. All right, so as it stands now, my next draw on liquidity is this high right here. All right, the high at 105.904. That is actually my next draw on liquidity, all right, or probably 106. So I will expect to see price push to that zone, then we see what will happen next. All right, but if we should switch to the monthly time frame, realize that we've seen price in a consolidation for some time now. All right, and so looking at where price headed to, we are likely to see price push to fill up this fair value gap. Then we see price dropping. So price filling up into this, then I'll expect a drop. All right, so that's going to be on a long-term basis, but on a short term, that's what I've showed you on the daily time frame. I'm expecting to see this high rated. All right, then we see what happen next. So I'm still bullish, looking for bullish prices on USD. All right, let's look at what is happening on GBPUSD. So for GBPUSD, we've still seen price pushing to the downside. All right, we've seen price pushing to the downside, taking out this sell side liquidity right here, then into the zone. All right, yes, going into next week, I'll expect to see a little bit of retracement before we see a push, a continuation to the downside. All right, yes, so apparently we have this last down close candle prior to price pushing to the upside. All right, so definitely we might see price finally landing into the zone. All right, we might see price finally landing into the zone before we start seeing some bullishness on GBPUSD. So going into next week, I'll be looking for selling opportunities on GBPUSD, but the retracement should happen. All right, so maybe going into Monday, Tuesday, we can see some buys to fill up this liquidity void. Then we see a move to the downside, because I mean, once the swing low is broken, the next thing to expect if price is going to continue to push to the downside is a lower swing high, which it hasn't been formed yet. So in the case of forming a lower swing high, price will push up to form the lower swing high. Then from there we see price pushing to the downside. So for GBPUSD, that is my expectation. All right, yeah, so that is just that. Let's think about what's happening on AUDUSD. So for AUDUSD, for some time now, we've seen AUDUSD actually in a consolidation. That tells you that we are experiencing a stronger Australian dollar against a stronger US dollar, which is not, I mean, it's not a good condition to be in. So as it stands now, on a higher time frame, the Aussie is looking, or the Aussie is actually in a consolidation. Yeah, the Aussie is in a consolidation. All right, yes, it's given as a sideways market. But let's switch to, let's say, the 4-hour to see if we can see any price opportunities here. So on the 4-hour, what you've seen is that price, after price taking out this high right here, so price take out this low. All right, filling out or filling up this fair value gap we are seeing here. All right, yes, filling up this fair value, which after that we saw price creating a swing high. So if I'm to trade on a short-term basis, my next draw on liquidity is going to be this very low right here. All right, my next draw on liquidity is going to be this low right here, in that I'll expect to see price push up a little bit, then we see a push to the downside, taking out this low right here. All right, yeah, so on a short-term basis, that is what I would expect to see AUDUSD to do. But on a longer-term basis, it's looking in a range, or price is really in a range. So on a longer-term basis, you can't really tell where price is heading to. So I'll keep my plans on AUDUSD very, very short, or that is on a short term. Then we see what happen on a longer. Probably going into this week, we might have a bigger move that will really tell us going into next month, what you expect to see on the market so far as AUD/USD is concerned. But on a shorter term, that is what I've given you on the 4-hour time frame. So that is just that for AUD/USD. Let's look at what is happening on USD/CAD. Yeah, so for USD/CAD, you've seen price, just as I made you aware last week, I was expecting to see price take out this low. It did, all right, and you've seen price forming a swing low right here. Right from here, I'll expect to see price continue to push to the upside. All right, if I'm bullish on the dollar index, then I'll expect to see USD/CAD give us a bullish momentum. All right, but let's switch to the 4-hour and see if we can have any potential opportunity right here. So for USD/CAD, I will be interested in buys only if price is able to take out this buy side liquidity right here. All right, if price takes out this buy side liquidity, then I'll expect to see price retrace a little bit back into the zone, then a push to the upside. So for USD/CAD, that is going to be my expectation. I'll stay glued to the 4-hour time frame to see if price will be able to take out this high. If it takes out this high, then yes, we see price pushing to the upside. But if price should fail to take out that high and then it takes out this low, all right, if price should take out this low, then definitely I would be shifting my focus on looking for what selling opportunities so far as USD/CAD is concerned. So as it stands now, price is stuck within this high and then this low. All right, price is currently stuck within this high and this low. So I'll be watching it closely to see what will happen going into a new week. All right, yeah. So that is just that so far as USD/CAD is concerned. Let's go what is happening on GBPJPY. Yeah, so for GBPJPY, last Friday we had the Bank of Japan keeping their interest rate at a negative 0.1. The Bank of Japan is still keeping the interest rate at negative 0.1, and GBP, or the Bank of England, decided not to also raise interest rate. They decided to keep interest rates at 5.25%. And so looking at that alone, I wouldn't be convinced, or I wouldn't expect to see GBPJPY giving us a bearish movement. All right, and at this point, I'll expect to see GBPJPY push to the upside. All right, that is going into a new week. I'll expect GBPJPY give us a move or a continuation to the upside. Yeah, so for GBPJPY, that is going to be my expectation on that. Let's look at what is happening on gold. Yeah, so for gold, I made you aware last week that I would expect to see price push to the upside, but it didn't really give us a clear price action at the moment. All right, we haven't really seen a clear price action at the moment. But let's switch to the 4-hour and see what is happening on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, so for the 4-hour time frame, this is what has happened. All right, this is what has happened. If right after price taking out to this high, you saw price taking out what this low, all right, and then this low too as well. All right, price violated this fair value gap that I marked out here. So at this point, my next draw on liquidity on gold is this zone right here. All right, my next draw on liquidity on gold is this zone right here. So I expect to see gold push to the downside. First of all, taking out this low, then it takes out this low. All right, yeah, so I'm bearish. I'll be looking for bearish prices so far as gold is concerned. Yeah, so that is my expectation for gold. Let's look at what is happening on Nasdaq. Yeah, so finally I've added Nasdaq to my watch list here. So those of you that were expecting me to add it finally is here. All right, so let's look at what is happening on Nasdaq. So for Nasdaq is looking bearish. All right, Nasdaq is looking bearish. I'll expect Nasdaq to take out. So I'll expect price to take out the previous 20-day low. But let's switch to the 4-hour and see if we can get something. Yeah. So I'll focus on this low right here. All right. Yes, I'll focus on this low. This very low we are seeing here. That is going to be my focus. So that if price should be able, or if price takes out this low, then I expect to see a little bit retracement, then a push to the downside to take out the previous 20-day low. So for Nasdaq, it's so clear. Nasdaq is very clear at the moment. All right, let's try to see if we can get some opportunities on the 1 hour. Yeah, so on the 1 hour too, your eyes should be glued to this low right here. All right, yes, so you can mark out this low. Let me make it clear for you. All right, yeah, this low, you can mark out this low. All right, so as soon as price takes out that low, then you begin to look for selling opportunities. In that, after price taking out this low, you wait for a retracement. All right, then you move to the downside. So for Nasdaq, that is going to be my expectation so far as going into a new week is concerned. Yeah, so that is just that for the new week. All right, that is just that for the new week. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do well to click on the subscribe button and smash the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. If you're not part of my Telegram community, check the description box below. The link is there. Click on it and be part of the Clairvoyant Traders Telegram community. My swing trading room tool is up and running. If you're interested, my ID is in the description box below. That is my Telegram ID. It's in the description box below. Click on it, get in touch with me, and let me put you in my swing trading room. We are really doing well, right? Yes, things are really happening in there. Just that, I mean, the month of August and September hasn't been good. All right, hasn't been good. But if you should look at our records, we've really banged a lot of pips. That even with the month of August and September, the number of pips we've lost in the month of August and September, I mean, it doesn't really affect us, because even in the month of August, I think within the first or the second week, we had about 200 pips for the week. All right, yes, we had about 200 pips for the week in the month of August, second week in the month of August. Just that the month of September hasn't really been good, so we hardly take trades. We hardly took trades in September. All right, yes, and trust me, October, November is going to be fireworks in the swing trading room. So if you're not part of the swing trading room, this is the time that you need to be part of it, because October and November, you wouldn't want to miss it, because what is coming is really huge. All right, yeah, so that is just that for the weekly market analysis. I'll come your way again another time. Peace.